Hello, today I will be reviewing the DaVinci or the XYZ DaVinci Junior 1.0 3D printer. Um, this 3D printer is made from XYZ Printing. They're a Chinese-based company. They make very affordable 3D printers, and I will be reviewing both the pros and cons of this beginner level 3D printer today. So first off, a few statistics about this printer. This printer was released. Um, This is the 1.0 printer because there are three different versions of it. There's the 2.0 and the 3.0 Pro. They're of varying sizes, so this 3D printer has a build volume of 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches. This printer retails for shit. So this 3D printer retails for $349.95 through XYZ, but you can find it on other uh, websites for under that. Now that this is a few years old. A little about the printer. It's very easy to use. It's a very simplified format that XYZ has. It's really nice that there is an enclosed build area. Um, So while you are 3D printing a part, it is very quiet. And then I'll just show you how loud it is while it's being printed. So like I said, it is a very simple 3D printer. There's two ways to get files on it, either through an SD card or a USB cable that you can hook up to your computer, and then you can directly send the prints to the printer via the XYZ software. Um, so this 3D printer, because it is relatively low cost, it uses a single type of filament called PLA, that's short for polylactic acid, and it is one of the most common 3D printers that is used in the FDM style printer, which this is of that type. So it comes in a variety of colors, and like I said, PLA is the most common type that consumer level 3D printers use. So XYZ has a very high level company reputation. They create very reliable products. What they mainly produce now are very inexpensive 3D printers and 3D scanners and related materials for that. Their focus is getting a 1-to-1 ratio of 3D printers in most schools and locations. That is one of the many reasons why the printers are very inexpensive. So one of the problems that this specific printer has is that because it is a very simplistic 3D printer, the software is not very ideal for a lot of usage. You really only have a very basic tools, and then one thing that most softwares have that XYZ sorely lacks is actually the ability to tell how much filament will be used for the printer, which is a really important thing to know, because the XYZ filament cartridges that are compatible with its printer are only 600 grams, while typical 3D printers have a 1 kilogram. It's very difficult to know how much material you will have left after the print is done. Another con of this printer is that it has proprietary filament, and by that I mean it's that each filament cartridge has a specific chip card that goes along with it that will tell you how much filament is left on it. Now the problem with this is that even though that XYZ makes very nice filament, it is not the highest quality, and so if you want to be able to use your own filament or other materials, or try and kind of play with the printer and kind of figure out what it can and cannot handle, you will not be able to do it with this printer. You'll actually have to use you will actually have to get a different version of this called the Pro version, that you can then that it is then unlocked so you can use any type of filament you want. Another pro of this printer is that the build plate leveling is very simple and easy to use. I have only had to level this printer once, and that was after the very initialization of the setup when I first got the printer. So it's been really nice to not have to worry about that constantly being changed. And the reason you want a level build plate is that it's that for your prints to print smoothly, and it retains the integrity of the build plate, so there are no gouging, and that the print adheres correctly to the printer. Another con of this printer is the overall print quality. So here is one of the prints that I have done in the past. And so while like it finishes the print, and overall there are no there's nothing really wrong with the print overall. The print finishing is very rough and not smooth, but for the price of this printer, you still get a really nice print, given that fact. And another thing I don't know is that even after re-leveling it, I have had difficulty with some of the prints on the bottom with it being curled up. A lot of square shapes just don't want to remain square, and they kind of end up rounding up. You can see on this print, this is the 3D Benchy that I printed using the black filament. It is a very standard print to print, because it tests. The purpose of the print is to stress test the printer to make sure it's calibrated correctly and all that. And you can kind of see there's some spider webbing up here, meaning that it didn't pull away when I was printing correctly. Both an advantage and disadvantage of this printer is that it is very inexpensive, so you're kind of getting what you're paying for. So this is a very nice starting out 3D printer. By no means is it a printer that you should use outside of using it as a hobby. But for me, it is a good investment. It's a good starting 3D printer. It's a very simple way to load the filament. really convenient, especially for a first-time user. It's very easy to load the filament each time you want to change it or you ran out. So like I mentioned before, this is a very good starting off printer due to its inexpensive price and overall build quality. You do get what you pay for, which like I said earlier, is a good 3D printer to start off with, but not a good one that you want to hold on for very long. And now XYZ has since released a pro version of this 1.0 that is unlocked, meaning that you can use any type of filament you want. Besides their proprietary filament. So I cannot recommend this printer anymore unless you can find it for very cheap, either on Amazon or any other retailers such as Newegg and other websites like that, such as Best Buy. I can recommend though that this is a very good brand, and they do make very good printers. It's just that this specific printer is no longer ideal, and there are more optimal printers you can get for your price point. Thank you, and have a good day.